World War II, just saying the name sends shivers down your spine. It was the biggest, baddest war our planet has ever seen. From the bullet-riddled beaches of Normandy to the frozen wastelands of the Eastern Front, millions fought and died. This wasn't just some border skirmish, this was a global brawl that dragged almost every nation into its chaotic whirlwind. Imagine a world consumed by violence, where every continent became a battleground. That was World War II. But why should we care about a war that ended decades ago? Because the echoes of this conflict still shape our world today. From the countries we live in to the very freedoms we cherish. So, buckle up, because we're about to take a deep dive into the belly of the beast, the history, the horror, and the enduring legacy of World War II. It all started on September 1st, 1939. Picture this: Nazi Germany, a regime drunk on its own twisted ideology, unleashes its war machine on Poland. The invasion of Poland was the match that lit the fuse of this global powder keg. Great Britain and France, bound by treaties and a sense of duty, declared war on Germany. The world watched in horror as the Nazi war machine, a terrifying display of military might, blitzkrieged its way across Europe. The world was at war, and it would be a long and bloody fight for freedom. The war raged for 6 long years, finally ending on September 2nd, 1945. The world breathed a collective sigh of relief, but the scars of this conflict would remain etched in the memory of mankind forever. World War II wasn't fought in some small corner of the world. It was a conflict that spanned continents and oceans, involving nations from every corner of the globe. The sheer scale of the war was unprecedented, with battles taking place in Europe, Africa, Asia, and the Pacific. The world had never seen such a widespread and all-encompassing conflict before. This was a global conflict with battles raging on land, in deserts, forests, mountains, and cities. Soldiers fought in diverse and often harsh environments, adapting to the unique challenges each terrain presented. The land battles were characterized by their intensity and the sheer number of troops involved. From the vast tank battles on the Eastern Front to the guerrilla warfare in the jungles of Southeast Asia, the land war was a brutal and relentless struggle. At sea, where massive naval fleets clashed in epic battles that determined control of the world's oceans. The naval war saw the use of aircraft carriers, battleships, and submarines in ways never before imagined. The seas became battlegrounds where the fate of nations was decided. And in the skies, where dogfights between fighter planes and strategic bombing campaigns brought the war to new heights. The air war introduced a new dimension to warfare, with air superiority becoming a crucial factor in many battles. From the frozen hellscape of Stalingrad, where the Soviet Union and Nazi Germany engaged in one of the deadliest battles in history, to the sweltering jungles of the Pacific, where American and Japanese forces fought in brutal island-hopping campaigns, soldiers clashed in some of the most brutal battles ever witnessed. The conditions were often extreme, with soldiers enduring freezing temperatures, scorching heat, and relentless rain. These battles tested the limits of human endurance and showcased the resilience and determination of the soldiers involved. Imagine the deafening roar of artillery, the stench of death, and the sheer terror of combat. The battlefield was a chaotic and terrifying place, with explosions, gunfire, and the cries of the wounded creating a nightmarish environment. Soldiers had to navigate this chaos while trying to stay alive and complete their missions. The psychological toll of the war was immense, with many soldiers experiencing trauma that would stay with them for the rest of their lives. One of the most pivotal battles was the Battle of Midway. This clash of aircraft carriers in the Pacific was a turning point in the war against Japan, crippling their naval power and shifting the tide. The battle demonstrated the importance of intelligence and strategy, as the United States was able to anticipate and counter Japanese movements. The victory at Midway halted Japanese expansion and gave the Allies a much-needed boost in morale. This clash of aircraft carriers in the Pacific was a turning point in the war against Japan, crippling their naval power and shifting the tide. The Japanese fleet suffered significant losses, including 4 aircraft carriers, which were a critical component of their naval strategy. The battle showcased the effectiveness of carrier-based aircraft and marked a shift in naval warfare tactics. It was a decisive victory that changed the course of the war in the Pacific. Then there's the D-Day invasion of Normandy, a testament to human courage and military planning. The operation, known as Operation Overlord, was the largest amphibious invasion in history. It involved meticulous planning and coordination among the Allied forces. The success of the invasion was crucial for establishing a foothold in Europe and beginning the liberation of Nazi-occupied territories. Picture thousands of Allied troops storming the beaches of France facing a hail of German gunfire. The beaches were heavily fortified, and the soldiers had to overcome numerous obstacles, including mines, barbed wire, and machine gun nests. Despite the heavy resistance, the bravery and determination of the Allied troops prevailed. The landings marked the beginning of the end for Nazi Germany. The liberation of Europe had begun. The success of the Normandy invasion paved the way for the Allied advance into occupied Europe. Cities and towns were gradually liberated, and the oppressive grip of the Nazi regime was loosened. The liberation brought hope and relief to millions of people who had suffered under occupation. These battles, along with countless others, showcased the evolution of warfare. The war saw the development and implementation of new tactics, technologies, and strategies. From the use of radar and code breaking to the deployment of paratroopers and amphibious assaults, World War II was a period of rapid innovation in military science. From lightning-fast blitzkrieg tactics, which emphasized speed and surprise to overwhelm the enemy, to brutal trench warfare, where soldiers endured grueling conditions and constant danger, World War II saw it all. The war was a complex and multifaceted conflict that pushed the boundaries of human ingenuity and resilience. It was a time of great hardship and sacrifice, but also of incredible bravery and determination. Section 4. Technological Warfare. From radar to the atomic bomb. World War II was a period of intense conflict, but it was also a time of rapid technological advancement. The war wasn't just fought with soldiers and tanks, it was a battle of minds and machines, a race to develop the most advanced technology to gain the upper hand. World War II wasn't just about brute force, it was also a race of technology. Scientists and engineers on both sides worked tirelessly to create new tools of war. Factories operated around the clock, churning out innovations that would change the course of history. The war spurred an unprecedented wave of innovation, forever changing the face of warfare. The war spurred an unprecedented wave of innovation, forever changing the face of warfare. Laboratories and workshops became the front lines of a different kind of battle, one fought with equations and blueprints. The inventions that emerged from these efforts were nothing short of revolutionary. Think of radar, a game-changer that allowed the Allies to detect enemy aircraft and ships. Radar technology gave the Allies a significant advantage, enabling them to anticipate and counter enemy movements. This early warning system was crucial in many battles, providing a strategic edge that often made the difference between victory and defeat. Or the Enigma machine, a fiendishly complex code machine used by the Germans. The Enigma machine was designed to create seemingly unbreakable codes, giving the German military a secure way to communicate. However, the Allies were determined to crack its secrets, and the Allied efforts to crack its secrets. At Bletchley Park, a team of brilliant codebreakers, including the famous Alan Turing, worked tirelessly to decipher the Enigma codes. Their success in breaking these codes was a turning point in the war, allowing the Allies to intercept and thwart German plans. But perhaps the most terrifying technological advancement of the war was the atomic bomb. The Manhattan Project, a secret research and development project, brought together some of the greatest scientific minds of the time to create a weapon of unprecedented destructive power. The bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki ushered in the nuclear age, a chilling reminder of the destructive power humanity now possessed. The devastation caused by these bombs was unlike anything the world had ever seen, leaving a lasting impact on global politics and warfare. A chilling reminder of the destructive power humanity now possessed. The aftermath of the bombings was a stark illustration of the potential for destruction that came with this new technology. The world had entered a new era, one where the threat of nuclear warfare loomed large. These technological advancements, while born out of conflict, went on to shape the world we live in today. The innovations developed during World War II laid the groundwork for many of the technologies we now take for granted. Veterans of the war often spoke of the incredible changes they witnessed, both on the battlefield and in the world at large. From computers to jet engines, the legacy of World War II's technological innovations is all around us. The early computers developed to break codes evolved into the powerful machines that drive our modern world. Jet engines, initially designed for military aircraft, revolutionized air travel and transportation. The legacy of World War II's technological innovations is all around us. The advancements made during this tumultuous time continue to influence our lives in countless ways. From the devices we use daily to the methods we employ in various fields, the impact of World War II's technological race is undeniable. The war may have ended, but its legacy lives on in the technology that surrounds us, a testament to the ingenuity and determination of those who lived through it. Section 5. A world divided, political alliances and their impacts. World War II wasn't just a clash of armies, it was a battle of ideologies. The conflict saw nations aligning themselves based on shared beliefs and goals, leading to a global struggle that reshaped the world order. The world split into two main factions, the Allied powers and the Axis powers. These alliances were not just military coalitions but were deeply rooted in the political and ideological convictions of the time. On one side you had the Allies, the United States, Great Britain, the Soviet Union, and others fighting for freedom and democracy. These nations, despite their differences, united under a common cause to resist the spread of totalitarian regimes. On the other side stood the Axis Nazi Germany, Imperial Japan, and Italy, driven by a lust for power and fueled by dangerous ideologies. Their aggressive expansionist policies and brutal tactics aimed to dominate and reshape the world according to their vision. The political landscape of the world was redrawn during the war. Borders shifted, new nations emerged, and old empires crumbled. The alliances formed during the war had lasting impacts on the geopolitical structure of the post-war world. The United States, once hesitant to get involved in foreign conflicts, emerged as a global superpower. Its industrial might and military prowess played a crucial role in the defeat of the Axis powers, and its influence grew significantly in the post-war era. The war also had a profound impact on international relations. The devastation and loss of life led to a collective desire to prevent such a catastrophe from happening again. This desire for peace and stability gave rise to new diplomatic efforts and international organizations. The formation of the United Nations after the war was a direct response to the horrors witnessed, a global organization dedicated to preventing future conflicts. The UN aimed to foster international cooperation, promote human rights, and ensure peace and security worldwide. Another significant outcome of the war was the Marshall Plan, an American initiative to aid Western Europe. This plan provided over $12 billion in economic assistance to help rebuild European economies, prevent the spread of communism, and stabilize the region. The creation of NATO, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, was another crucial development. This military alliance, formed in 1949, aimed to provide collective security against the threat of Soviet expansion and to promote democratic values among its member states. The alliances and political shifts during and after World War II set the stage for the Cold War, a period of intense rivalry between the United States and the Soviet Union. This era was marked by a nuclear arms race, espionage, and proxy wars, further shaping the global political landscape. The war also accelerated decolonization movements around the world. Many colonies in Asia, Africa, and the Middle East gained independence in the years following the war, leading to the emergence of new nations and a shift in global power dynamics. In Europe, the desire for lasting peace and economic stability led to the formation of the European Union. This political and economic union aimed to foster cooperation, prevent future conflicts, and promote prosperity among its member states. The legacy of World War II's political alliances continues to influence international relations today. The structures and organizations established in the aftermath of the war have played a crucial role in shaping the modern world, promoting peace, and addressing global challenges. The United Nations, NATO, the European Union, and other international bodies remain vital in maintaining global stability. Their efforts in peacekeeping, humanitarian aid, and conflict resolution are a testament to the enduring impact of the alliances formed during World War II. As we reflect on the political alliances and their impacts, it is clear that the decisions made during World War II have had far-reaching consequences. The alliances forged in the heat of battle have shaped the world we live in today, reminding us of the importance of unity and cooperation in the face of global challenges. Section 6. Life on the home front, social changes and civilian experiences. World War II wasn't just fought on battlefields, it touched the lives of ordinary people all over the world. The home front became a battleground of its own, with civilians enduring rationing, air raids, and the constant fear of losing loved ones. Women, traditionally confined to domestic roles, stepped up to fill factory jobs and support the war effort. The war challenged social norms and paved the way for greater gender equality in the years to come. The war also had a lasting impact on popular culture. From iconic wartime posters to unforgettable songs, the experiences of World War II permeated every aspect of life.